"Happy birthday," said no one, because you told them not to make a fuss. Plot twist. That "it's just another day" vibe? It's not apathy. It's psychology with sunglasses on. Today we're cracking the code on people who treat their birthday like a normal Tuesday. No balloons, no candles, no 3-hour dinner where everyone sings off key and you pretend to smile while dying inside. By the end, you'll know exactly why some of us go low-key, how it actually protects our minds, and the small switches that turn meh into meaningful without turning your life into a Vegas show. Ready? 10 fast, sharp psychological truths, each one a door that opens to the next. 1. The just another day shield. Some people don't downplay their birthday, they downshift expectations. That's a brain hack called self-protection. If big anticipation has produced big disappointment, your mind lowers the emotional ceiling to keep the room safe. You call it no big deal. Your nervous system calls it, finally, peace. It's not coldness, it's calibration. And yes, it works, until it gently dulls the color on joy. If the shield manages pain, what happens to pleasure? Let's talk about who you're celebrating for. 2. Internal celebration beats external validation. There's a quiet maturity in not outsourcing your happiness to a cake. People who skip the spectacle are often shifting from notice me to know me. When validation goes from crowdsourced to self-sourced, birthdays stop being a performance metric. That doesn't mean you don't want to be seen. It means you want to be seen accurately. Accurate how? Through the most brutal mirror you own: time. 3rd, birthdays are mirrors, not parties. A birthday isn't just a date, it's a dashboard. You glance at the odometer and ask, where am I versus who I meant to be? That moment, call it temporal self-awareness, can feel like a pop quiz with no study guide. If the last year was heavy, quiet feels safer than confetti. Reflection isn't anti-joy, it's anti-noise. But mirrors are made somewhere, usually in childhood. Let's check the blueprint beneath the behavior. 4. Attachment leaves, footprints on the cake. If affection used to be inconsistent, too hot, too cold, your adult brain might say, don't risk wanting. Cue the cool, unbothered birthday. That's not detachment, it's earned independence. You learn to rely on yourself because relying on others once cost too much. You still want connection, you just refuse auditions for it. And speaking of auditioning, guess who never auditions? The family responsible one. 5. The responsible one, forgetting themselves. Caretakers are legendary for remembering everyone else's milestones and ghosting their own. Not out of martyrdom, out of habit. When you're the steady hand, your joy gets scheduled after logistics, which means never. The fix isn't a surprise party, it's permission. Permission to be the protagonist for 24 hours without apologizing to the supporting cast. But what if the culture around you buys tickets only for loud joy? 6. Loud culture, quiet people. We live in an era where celebration is content. Some people would rather skip the day than narrate it. Not posting isn't proof of emptiness. It's a choice to practice presence without an audience. The counterintuitive truth: the more performative the world gets, the more sacred solitude becomes. Solitude is elegant until control starts handcuffing wonder. Next, control versus joy. 7. Control is comfort until it isn't. Trading excitement for control keeps your heartbeat steady, but steady can slide into stale. If your birthday plan is normal tasks but faster, ask, am I protecting calm or rationing aliveness? Micro risks, like saying yes to a tiny ritual, retrain your brain that joy is safe now. Courage, but make it cozy. Cozy joy, that's alignment. Which brings us to the engine under the hood. 8. Redefining joy equals alignment over applause. When your values match your actions, psych nerds call it self-concordant motivation, celebration stops being loud and starts being true. A long walk, a solo lunch, a book you promised you'd read. These aren't anti-party, they're pro-you. The goal isn't dopamine fireworks, it's resonance. Still, even aligned souls run a quiet experiment every year. You do it too. Ready to admit it? 9. The invisible test. You say, no big deal, but your brain logs who remembered anyway. You're not petty. You're human. Love is a language. Remembering is a sentence in it. The test isn't about gifts. It's about pattern recognition. Who sees you without a reminder? The answer recalibrates your circle, gently and correctly. So how do you celebrate without the cringe? You design a ritual that loves you back. 10. Rituals that actually fit. Design 3 scalable options. Micro, 10 minutes of intentional joy. Favorite coffee, favorite corner, phone on airplane mode. 1 question. What did I do this year that made me proud? Medium. Dinner with your inner 4. The people who know your real plot. No singing. 1 story each. My favorite version of you I saw this year. Signature. A private annual tradition. Sunrise walk. Handwritten letter to future you. Playlist. Add 1 song. It's not a party. It's a promise. And if you're the friend of the "it's just another day" person, here's your cheat code. Bonus: how to love the low-key person without scaring them. Don't ambush. Ask their language. Do you want quiet presence or small surprise? Be specific. 3 things I appreciated about you this year are: specificity beats spectacle. Follow through greater than fireworks. A sincere voice note can do more than a rented room and a forced chant. Quick reality checks. Rapid fire, no fluff. If I cared, I'd want a party. False. Caring doesn't require volume. Skipping celebration is sad. Not if joy is integrated daily. Posting proves happiness, or it proves cell service. Joy can trend, or it can root. Rooted joy survives algorithms. 5 bite-sized reframes you can steal today. I don't do birthdays. I do meaning. No party, personal ritual. I hope they remember. I'll remember me and let them add. Another year older. Another chapter authored. Just another day. A checkpoint I design. Mini playbook for your next birthday. Yes, bookmark this. Before. Write a 1-page audit. 3 wins. 1 lesson. 1 experiment for the next year. During. Choose 1 boundary. No work chat or no obligations after 6 p.m. And 1 indulgence. Small, intentional, guilt-free. After, send gratitude messages to people who showed up. Tiny loop closures train your brain to trust connection again. If your brain is whispering, "But I used to love birthdays," what happened? Here's the compassionate read. You didn't get boring. You got conscious. You learned that validation with strings attached feels like confetti that's hard to sweep. You didn't outgrow wonder, you outgrew performance. Now you're building a life where a random Wednesday holds as much awe as a cake day. That's not cynicism, that's curation. And still, let this land. Wanting to feel seen does not cancel your self-sufficiency. You can be serene and still melt when someone pronounces your name like a celebration. You can prefer a quiet morning and still keep the card. You can skip the spotlight and still glow. Both and is the adult party theme. So, if happy birthday feels like nice, thanks, try this subtle upgrade next time. Look back at the person you were a year ago and thank them for carrying you here. Then look forward and leave one breadcrumb for the person you're becoming. That's a celebration no algorithm can measure and no restaurant can host. If you're still here, you're my kind of thinker. Hit subscribe and step into this corner of the internet where psychology gets witty, philosophy gets practical, and your mind gets stronger without needing streamers. Join the crew, Percepta Matrix, where meaning beats noise, and every week we drop tools to understand people, including you, faster and deeper. If this episode clarified something, pass it to one friend who hates birthday songs but loves truth. See you in the next one.